My name is Chrissy Hayford, and I'm the president of the Esports Association, and we want to welcome you to our session. I would want to invite one of the panelists of our meeting today, Mr. Aram Teria. Let's give a hand of He will introduce himself and what he does, and then some of our panelists, because there was a confusion in time, because they are not here, but we also have a community manager for our Call of Duty. He also knows a bit of the industry, so I will let him come and sit. When Max comes, he will leave and go. All right. So basically, what many people think have perceptions about gaming in Ghana and gaming in the world is that gaming is bad, right? It's addictive and it's all that, but we kind of diffuse that perceptions, right? So I will start by explaining what esports is. Esports is basically electronic sports, which is every component of sports, right, in the physical space, but played in the virtual space. So competitive play of video games. And with that comes professionalism and then amateur, right? Just like in football, we have amateur football and then we have professional football. When you talk about professional football, the first person or two people comes to mind, Messi or Ronaldo, right? They are professional because one, they belong to a team. Two, they are being paid for their skill they use on the field. And then they have therapies, they have a routine time of practice and all that. In the esports space, that also exists. There are teams who have players who play they call it scrims, right? Practice time, specific time duration. They can practice for 8 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. And then they also play in big tournaments for money or cash. So, and then you also have in the States and UK, Asia, they have therapists, medical doctors in charge of these people. So basically, everything in the professional space is replicated in the electronic space. The good thing is that ours is much more participatory in using certain kinds of digital content. So you have the hardware, which is the consoles or the pieces. Then we have the software. The software side, our primary software we use is the games. And Aram will come and talk about that. So, but the fact that we are the end users of the game, right? We are the product users, digital content users of the game. If they create the game, right, they need people to play it. The good thing is that in video games, it's spread across. Esports is just a subset of gaming that you have to get understanding of. Gaming is a broad spectrum, which comprises of many things. I believe Aram will talk about that. So I just wanted to give you a bit of brief about esports. But there's a digital economy attached to esports. Everything that we use, from the game management to the tournament management to the player management are all digital based. And the digital careers comes in all forms. Being a player is a digital career. Being a shoutcaster is a digital career, even when it comes to the game development side. So I will stop here, and then, again, my name is Kwesi Hayford, and I'm the president of Esports Ghana.
Yes, that was a great intro. So you can say Aram. So I'm Aram Teria. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Letty Arts, which is one of Africa's first full-time video game development companies. And I'm also the president of the Gamers Association Ghana, which encompasses the game developers in Ghana. I'm also part of the board member for Games for Change Africa, which is a body body that oversees serious games on the continent. I'll be going further. I'll let him introduce himself, then I'll also jump in and explain further with what game development is.
Okay, I'm Kalino Kalepson, and I'm the CEO and founder and manager for Ace Gamers Esports, and I double as tournament manager as well, and I'm the administrative head for Africa Mobile Championship, and now the community lead for Call of Duty Mobile in Ghana as well. So basically, that's what I do. I manage teams, I create teams, I train players, I have coaches for the esports teams as well, and we compete at the highest level of the games across Africa and the world.
Yes, so as you can see, he's a manager and he's a president of Call of Duty. I'm waiting for the day that he'll say he's a manager of Africa's Legends or Ware or Sweeve or, so that is what makes our work important, right? These guys are pushing the community forward. The reason why we say that is in Africa, gaming and education are two distinct circles. If you pick a book, you are serious. If you pick a game, you are not serious, right? So we want to find the intersection. And the problems that we had to fight till now, because our company is 14 years old now. We started way back in 2009, pushing the gaming industry, because even then, the gaming industry is bigger than the movie and the music industry combined. That is in the West. In Africa, we have over 1 billion people, yet we don't contribute to even 1% of the global games revenue that are being reported. So we started Letty Arts on the basis of potential revenue. Because if Africa should embrace game development, trust me, we will not be going around borrowing money. Our GDPs will be fixed, employment will be fixed. These guys will be talking about how they are employing gamers and people are making a living out of playing. Because in video games, it's the only product that you can eat from both ends. Making it, you eat. When you finish playing it, you eat as well, right? And it's the industry that brings together extreme art and extreme science. As much as game development or games are technical, it has a very high artistic component. Probably 80% of making a game is the design, the art, the voice. Like everything goes into making a video game, right? And then the programmer is like the tailor. They stick everything together, the art, the sound, the legal aspect, the everything, like you put it together and then you make a fine garment out of it. So that is what game development is. And we have been making games, preserving African history and folklore in interactive formats that will genuinely excite the youngster of the 21st century. I learned how to drive through video games, right? I learned about culture. I learned about like almost everything I know through video games when I was small, playing Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, all those things. It fascinated me so much, so it drove me to understand how to make those video games, right? I read about Hercules because I saw him in a comic book, right? I saw Thor in Avengers, so I went to read about the Nordic god Thor. So I know about Loki, Odin, and I never saw African history. Like every alien attacks the White House. Every cool professor comes from the US or Britain or some European country because they are using storytelling in interactive forms to make their ecosystem cool. So growing up, I'm like, no, we also have to consciously put African stories, African science, African professors, African history in these formats, right? And this is war for us. It's like a movement for us. Until a Korean sits down and mentions Anansi, we are not stopping. We, until like someone in the US playing a game and mentions Yasantwa, we are not stopping, right? It's a movement. So as much as our stories are getting ancient and people are not connecting, we would want to preserve them in interactive forms that will genuinely excite the youngsters, and that is where the esports people come on board. So we have a big association now. The movement is growing. We are over 250 in our association. We as a studio, we are about 20 and counting plus as member studios. We've built a lot of games. We have a franchise called Africa's Legends, which is made up of superheroes and supervillains. We have the games and comics. We have a stand downstairs so you can check out the stuff. We have Africa's Legends, Sweeve, Puzzle Scout, Kamza. We have some cool games that are on the Play Store and the App Store that you can check out. Hot Seat, and we've been working in collaboration with the Esports Association to start playing, consciously playing our games. As crappy as they may look, because of making a game, because the industry is very established outside, locally it's now growing. It's very small, it's a very nascent industry locally. And even until recently, no university teaches game development in Sub-Saharan Africa, apart from South Africa, Wits, and Morocco. But Ashesi University just accepted game design this semester under computer science as an elective course, which I'm the lecturer for. So it means the industry is growing. So now Ashesi has embraced it, KNUST will embrace it, Legon will embrace it, and probably, hopefully, we will also have our own university now that you can also come and study game design and all that, up to the professorship level. Once that happens, quality of games are going to increase. I'm not saying the games are not quality. They are very good. We've done so well, right, with what we've pushed. But people keep comparing us with the quality of the West, right? But what we don't want from you is when you are playing the games, don't do sympathy gameplay. Play the game because you really love it. Don't say, oh, some Africans have made a game, so let me just play it. Play it because it's as good as Candy Crush or Angry Birds, or and it's that good. So we will love your feedback, and I'll hand over to Ace Gamers to also go forward with what they do.
Okay, basically what I do is manage a team. So he has made mention about their game development and everything. So when they publish the games, then we take it up from that stage. That is how the ecosystem works within the esports fraternity. Without the game developers, there's no game to be played. So once they develop the game, we need to form up a team. And the team, we need players. And the players, we need people that have the interest in playing the game. Right now, if I should ask each and everyone here, everyone has the games that they want to play. The interest will vary. So once you have people that have the same interest, let's say everyone wants to play Sweeve, then it means that we are going to form a team around that. And forming a team means you need coaches, because we are going to play at the competitive level, not just for fun. So if Letiat wants to organize or showcase some of his games, what he does is to put up a tournament. And with the tournament, for esports to grow, we don't just want everyone to just enter into it, but get associated with the esports teams. That makes it very professional. It doesn't mean that you join an esports team means because you don't know how to play the game, you can't join. You can join. We have the pro players, we have the intermediate players, and we have the amateurs, as Boss Kwesi said. People learn the game, and if you want to learn it, you join them, then you learn the game from there. And learning the game means that they are going to show you the loopholes within the games that they have developed. Because if you are playing the game, you need to beat your opponent. You need to reason like your opponent. It's just a game of chess. You need to think. And playing the game makes you very intellectual. That's why we are advocating that esports now is a whole big deal. Gone were the days that we had a cliche of you being a stubborn boy when you enter the game center. Personally, I entered the esports scene 2 years ago. My mother wouldn't even want me to even pass by the game center. All I see is the TV screens inside the gaming hubs. But today, I will call her and be like, oh, Mom, I'm going somewhere for a program. She's like, why are you going? Oh, it's an esports program. I'm going to do this. Okay, show who you. But back then, just mention game center and you are dead. And yes, still there are parents that have that kind of notion in their mind. They don't want to allow their wards to kind of play the games that are out there. And you know, for you to be able to play even Candy Crush as a game, you need to reason very fast for you to solve all those puzzles in it. So basically, playing the game sharpens your mind. So we as an esports team, what we do is to train the people, the personnel, and put them in that position. Now, when you become a pro player, we put you on a contract. Just like the traditional footballers do, they put players on contract. Now, being on contract means that you are going to be paid every month per your ability of playing the games as well. So Letty Art has a game and he puts up an annual tournament. Let's say every 2 months you organize a tournament, who is the best player in Swift. So I bring my team, Boss Kwesi has Root Esports, everybody comes around, we compete. Now, because we know that there's a cash prize around that game, we invest into the players, because we know that at the end of the day, when you win this tournament, you are going to earn money from it. So I'll invest into you, pay you monthly, so that you focus on the game. So some of our players are playing some of the games, they are on contract, they are being paid. One guy was like, but Caleb, let me just stop schooling and just focus on the game so that I can play the game very well. I was like, no. You need the education as well. You need to attend the school, make money whilst you are playing the game. It's just like you are having fun and you are getting paid. I go for seminars, I go for programs, and someone will call me, where are you? I'm like, oh, I'm at work. Oh, yeah, then. Oh, they are playing game. Oh, so be like, you are at work. Your work, you are enjoying. No, you are just enjoying. But there is stress. You need to think. The stress in thinking, that's what makes you to earn money. Because if you are not at that level, you wouldn't get the money in it. Yes, so it means that when you enter the space, 1 foot in it, it means you are a step closer to becoming a professional player. And once you're at that level, you get all the resources to, compete at the highest level. And, the gentlemen seated beside me, they've traveled outside the country, all based on gaming. But Kwesi, where were you recently? Romania. He was in Romania recently. He has been to Morocco, and all because of gaming. And someone will be there and be like, oh, gaming, cha-cha, they are about cha-cha, those kind of things. No. There's a difference between betting and gaming. Just like how we have the traditional football. People are playing the game. Yes, still people are betting behind the game. Some people choose to play the betting, some are enjoying the football game, and they get paid. At the end of it, whoever makes money does it. But we are advocating that this is esports, and everyone can be part of it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. We want to delve into some of the digital works that are because this conference is all about digital. So within the esports space, in fact, I've always spoken about the fact that the players themselves are digital workforce, in the sense that they use digital medium, from the game console to the platform, the softwares that they use. The software could be the game, it could be the PlayStation network that they sign on to. These are all digital intermediate pieces that you use. But the most of the beneficial that comes with it is that as much as they use these tools to work, they become much more a workforce, as it is the teams, the players are workforce for the teams. The brands get to see, because now brands are beginning to appreciate what the digital economy is bringing. Brands now don't want to pull up big billboards. They want to advertise in the social media space. And gaming is the only medium that has really pushed itself without traditional media. So if you look at, we have our own platform. We have Twitch, we have YouTube gaming. And let's talk about all the big companies, Amazon, Facebook, YouTube, Apple, all have a gaming component. All of them have gaming component, meaning that there is, and these people or these multinational companies look into the future and they know where things are going. So for us, it's not only about the players. There is also a workforce within the media production of esports, which is an entirely new space. Right? Not even some of the TV stations here know how to produce esports production, right? And that production is a digital content production, right? Because it's not only about putting cameras on us or the players. In an esports production, you are picking the game feed. You are making sure the game feed and the sound is coming through. So you even have sound engineers coming in. You will have to connect the consoles, network engineers coming in. Then the people, the camera production crew will have to be there. Then there is somebody who have to make sure that the stream is going straight online to the various platforms. That is also there. The streamer, the live stream officer is also there. Even we have somebody called an observer. This is not a commentator. An observer is like what in football we call the VAR room. They monitor the content, they monitor the gameplay to see who is doing wrong and who is doing right. And if there is an issue, they can bring it back. So there is a whole spectrum of digital work that is there for people to appreciate and learn. If you are a doctor, now people are moving into doctors, esports medicine, how to care for, because they are teams and they are professionals, and the players need to be taken care of, right? Because physically is mind, they have to be taken care of mentally. Then I want to talk also about the fact that there is a growing need, okay, for esports administrators, who are people who have gone to school and who can use their knowledge to better the esports ecosystem. So you can talk about employment opportunities that are tailored to the game, the future of work and gaming, because most of the youth now, like what we call Gen Z, they are all thinking about doing something passionate about gaming. And gaming is becoming a lifestyle. Apart from just playing, they have those who are going into merchandise, apparel, fashion. Music is also growing into esports, in the sense that now every esports event, there's a big music festival attached to it. Even the music used in the games, that is on a value chain for people to create, right? So you can decide that I don't want to be a musician, but I want to create music for games, right? So there's an entire ecosystem right there. But for esports, what we use is that we make use of all these products, of all these digital platforms for people to make ends meet. So we always say that to make better livelihood for the young people, because this is their space. And I will hand over to Eram to talk about some of the employment or specific jobs that are in the game development ecosystems, right?
Yes, so you can see even at the playing side, it's a whole institution. The same way with the making side of things. And in the making side of things, when you see like a game like FIFA, it was made by hundreds of people, right? The credits. And I mentioned that gaming has an extreme art and an extreme sciences. So in the arts, I'm going to just mention the sort of roles that you can get within the arts. One, if you're an artist, because every game has a graphical component. So illustrators, animators, both 2D, 3D, because some games are 2D. If you, for those who don't know what 2D is, it's two-dimensional, like flat graphics. 3D is seeing the whole thing. You have a space in video games. If you are a musician, a sound engineer, every game comes with a sound, right? You play the game, it's the music behind it, in-game music, ambient music. So we work with sound houses or sound engineers to make the games. So as I speak now, Letty Arts, we have a year-long internship program. I think we are the only company that keeps taking interns the whole year. And we have a very solid remote internship structure online that accepts almost everyone without stress, right? So if you're a sound engineer, you have a space in video games. If you are a designer, like, gaming doesn't mean that you have to be programming. That's the stereotype out there. If you meet anyone and say game development, they think it's very difficult to make. Technically, a game just happens in the mind. Any one of you can be a game designer. So long as you are able to draw on paper or plot something and define rules and make people accept those rules to have fun, that is a game. That's a definition of a game, right? And play is someone accepting the rule and then entering your world, right? So a designer is one of the most important roles in a game company. So the game designer is the leader of the team. He comes up with the idea, he draws all the sections, the entities, and then now communicates that to the team. So a game designer does not have any specific profession. Anyone, I've met doctors who have made games, and trust me and get this clear too, games cut across every industry because we have gamification as well, right? So gamification can happen in the agri sector. Those are categorized as serious games. So serious games are like games for impact or games for education. So you can go to agri sector, there's a game there. Health sector, there's a game there. So making a game for a certain purpose is a serious game, right? So it means already that everyone can be a game designer, right? So if we are making a game for, let's say, agriculture, we work with subject matter experts from the agri sector. There's a game we are making for the Ministry of Health and USAID now. The nurses are part of the game design team because they are telling us their processes and we are trying to put it together in a fun way. So a game designer's role is not tied to your course that you take in school. It's tied to your imagination and probably your creativity. And then there are some few technicalities. If a university is teaching game design, you can take, or now Coursera online and all that, you can take that to be a game designer. But technically, we accept everyone in a role of game design once you are creative. Then if you are a voiceover actress, you don't have to sit down and try to look for like some jingle to do before you get paid, right? You can put your voice in video games. There's a game we worked on. There's a character in one of the popular esports games called Valorant, made by Riot Games, and we were privileged to consult on a Ghanaian character within that game, that global game. And she is Ghanaian, right, called Astra. And the voice actress is a lady from Ghana. We did an audition and she was accepted to voice the character. Now her voice has been played, I'm sure, over 2 million or billion times globally because people are playing Astra. So when you hear Astra's voice, hey, Charlie, come here, Charlie, and we have all those, sorry to say, abua and things, all those things within the game when the character shoots a character. And this lady, this was her first time voicing a game character. So this opens a whole opportunity for our film space, right? Actors can act within the game. And when you are making a game too, you need animators. And animators, sometimes you need stuntmen who can make some moves for you, or people who can act a certain way, facial animation and all that. All those things are part of the arts within the game, right? And social media. People, when you are making the game, you need to be communicating the process to the community that this is what we are doing. As I speak, my social media team is sitting here recording and posting to the community. So the gaming community is seeing that, wow, he's speaking on games, right? And we have a phrase now that I say that games made it happen. Games has taken me all over the world. Like, I'm always on a plane going somewhere. Why? Because of video games, right? So social media is one of those artistic aspects. Then you come to the technical side, which is the programmers. So this is the so-called difficult aspect. Computer scientists who want to make code. In programming, yes, games need programming because it runs on a technical device. Fine, if it's a digital game, but they are board games as well. So they are all games. But go downstairs, you will see virtual reality and all those things. Those things all require some technical knowledge. So the programmer comes in to implement what the designer has designed, right? So the programmer is like the mason of a construction company, where the architect is the designer, and then the masons and then the small boys come and implement what the designers have done. That is the job of a programmer. Then in the technical aspect, below programming, you work with artificial intelligence. So in video games, we fake everything because there's a war between robotics and game AI. Because robotics, they say that gamers are not doing AI because we just have to make the character look intelligent on screen. But they have to make the character intelligent, because if a robot has to walk from here to here, it has to walk from here to here. But for a game, if the character leaves the screen, you can stop the character and the person would think that the character is still walking, right? So artificial intelligence is also very critical in video games. And when you're a programmer or a technical person, that is also necessary. Then we have other forms of skill sets that you need. If your game is like a sound game, then you need someone who understands beats, right? I don't know, those days we used to have some characters dancing on screen. When you start playing music, then some dancer will come to your desktop and be dancing according to the moves. All that, you need to listen to the rhythm, the BPM of the sound, and code the character to behave like that. So those are all skill sets that you can get within the video game development space, and many more. We need project managers, we need accountants, we need lawyers, because when you make a game on a character, the character needs a lawyer, else someone can pick that character. Like now you can pick Super Mario and say you are making your own Mario. Nintendo will sue you because Mario has a lawyer, but Mario is a game character. Do you get me? So imagine us creating Anansi, like your Anansi, right? Because folklore board also, now it's an industry. So we are now defining even the clear lines between policies and all that. That's why we made the association. So now as an association, we can now teach or educate the government on the opportunities that games can come, and then we can sit down and draw the lines between what is folklore board, what is this, what is that, Edinkra symbols, music, Ghanaian music, and all that. As he said, musicians don't have to play shows to earn money. You can make your music, put it in a game, and people can listen to it within the game, and then you earn royalties, right? So there are endless opportunities, and I'll hand it over to Ace. The thing is, I want you to ask any question about what you feel or how you can dive into the industry. But as we've painted the picture now, both the making process and the playing process is a whole industry that you can build around it. To end it, tomorrow we are starting the business of games in the Ashesi course that we are teaching. When you make your game, there is a whole business around the game because you need to sell the game, right? And that's a topic we are going to treat from tomorrow in class. And one of the topmost things that I'm exposing is how do you sell your game as an African on the African continent, and what also works outside Africa. Because Africa is a whole new playing field. What key partners do you need? Telecom companies, internet. People are saying, even as I speak now, you can stand here today, your data is 1 bar. You come here, your data is full bar. How can you make a digital game in an ecosystem like that? How do you circumvent it? How do you also all those things. Data is very expensive. There's a game we launched. People were calculating the amount of data that they used to download the game, versus what the telecom is giving them as reward. And they'll tell you, you are cheating me, And I have an Xbox at home. When I buy data, 250 gig, one Xbox game is almost 100 gig or 150 gig. Once you download the game, then update also starts, which is 20 gig. So already your 250 gig,
120 is gone.
yeah, it's gone. And you paid for that game. That game too, maybe you bought it for $50. So already keeping a console in Africa is sin. No, because we spend so much. Whilst outside, it is endless, unlimited. They don't even think about the cap. But now, as I'm speaking here, I've gotten notification that you spend 70%. My kids are on midterms and they are playing and streaming, right? How can we survive in an like an ecosystem like this? But Letty Arts has done it for 14 years, right? Paving the way, for things to change. So we are advocating, that's why we have the associations here, advocating for things to be better so that all new guys coming into the space can have it smoother. Thank you.
Wow. That was one big in-depth analysis where I had to open my ears and really listen to that side of it. Now, my side is when he is done with everything, then comes to the team management side. Now, the career opportunity in the team management side goes with the players, which we call them the e-athletes. We don't just call them, you are a gamer, you are a player. No, you are an e-athlete. Now, over there comes, again, management. And with the management, you need a coach. You need someone that will train the players. You need someone that will bring up the strats to play the games. Then again, we have the administrative heads. You can't be running coaching, you can't be running managing, you can't be running the everyday activity of the team. You need someone that will be booking the scrims, which are the training days. You book a scrim with a team from a different country. You need to interact with them. We have people in charge of that one. Personally, I'm managing 3 teams in Africa. Ace Gamers is in Ghana. Then I have Heaven's Gate in South Africa. Then Rogue Esports in Senegal. But we have a mixture of players from Nigeria, from Egypt, some from France and Italy and UK. So it's a whole multiplayer world when it comes to mobile gaming. And I'm the administrative head for Africa Mobile Championship, as I said earlier. So we kind of connect with people across the globe because we play a multiplayer game interface. So we communicate with people in the game as well. So we have all those people to take part in it. Then some of the e-athletes, we have those that are dedicated to streaming. They create content and put it out there on TikTok, on YouTube, and that is a streaming platform that brings revenue to the players as well. So imagine you are an e-athlete you are a pro player, then you create content as well. What happens? You take money from being paid as a player. YouTube or TikTok also pays you as a content creator. Now, at the end of it too, some of these players become influencers. You know, because you are having a lot of followership online, you kind of have people that influence you. They, okay, you do an ad for me. We want to do something. Just advertise it. They will pay you for it. Assuming Vodafone Ghana want to do something, you need someone to advertise it. Letiat want to do something, you need people to advertise it. He needs to pay all those people. It also comes down to his side as well. So with the players, with the team management, we have all those people playing a role. Then we have the health people that check your health. You know, some players, they decide to sit behind a console or the mobile phone and yes, is gaming throughout the whole day. No, you need to go out and touch the grass. When we say touching grass, that means you leaving your console or your phone to go out and have the social meeting with people, to have a refreshed mind over there and exercising their body. Last, we had a partnership with Fit Gamer from US. They had like sessions with the players, how to, there's an app that you communicate with the app. Today, I woke up at 8 a.m., okay, at 9 p.m., this is what I was doing. Then the app will tell you what you should do the following day. No, don't follow this routine again, because you are spending more time with the game. So, all this comes down with you managing the players. So you need to get the time for playing the games. Right now, whenever it's 7 p.m. in the evening, I'm busy with the boys because that is the gaming time that I've given them. From 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the evening, they are on the game. After that, all of you go and sleep. Just take a rest. But some will still sneak in and be playing the game somewhere else. But when I get hold of you, you'll be suspended for doing that. This is just to bring forth discipline. Because to play the game, you need to be disciplined. If you are not disciplined, that is when it becomes an addiction. And addiction doesn't make you perfect in what you are doing. You kind of feel bossy, like, I've been playing this thing for a long time. I spent 6 hours, I spent 8 hours. That doesn't count. What counts is how disciplined you are. That today I'm spending 2 hours to learn how to shoot. Aiming. If you spend that time on it, you become better. You just process it. So we have people that do analysis. Someone's job is just to watch the game, analyze that. No, today the game you played, you didn't perform at this side. Next time when you get to the pole, do this. Next time when you see that, when you come across an enemy, react this way. There are analyses that are being put in place. Then also we have the lawyers. So that means that in all the work we are doing, you need lawyers to back whatever you are doing, because you are giving the players contract. And I wouldn't say I'm an engineer, mechanical engineer. I'll go and draft a contract for you, and there'll be so many loopholes in it. So you need a professional lawyer to draft a contract for you. In any case, that person is in the best position to help solve any case for you. So all that brings us into the esports ecosystem. For the working to be done. Hence again, we have the graphic designers. With the graphic designers, they design the flyers that we see all around. Then the social media, the content creators, those that post whatever we are doing. Right now, I have to post some of the context to them so that, post it on our Twitter pages, our Instagram pages, so that we advertise whatever that we are doing. It is someone's job to do it. But at the beginning stages, it's something that you personally have to invest your time into it, build it up. When you get to that level, you kind of have the resources around you. Right now, Ace Gamers has some sort of sponsorship from OG Wi-Fi from UK, so we kind of have some muscles to flex, some money small. So as I'm sitting over, I'm waiting for Letia to also say, you to take this amount as sponsorship. Then we'll be flexing our muscles. Then Boss Kwesi is there, association, be like, we have you to take this amount. When you're all bringing something small, like the chairman that entered over here, you also put something small. At the long run, you'll be here, and me too, I'll be in UK, and be like, because of Letty Art, I'm attending this seminar over here and doing everything. That it brings fun. Like, just imagine today you join us because you are very good at one game, and they say, a tournament has come. I met this gentleman, Carl. He plays Apex. And the Apex players, the community is less over here. Now, whenever there's an international tournament, like the one that happened, we need players to come and play. Saudi Arabia, we needed players to come and play that tournament. Because the community was kind of low-key, those that showed up, were those that were flown to their country to go and play. So whether you are better at it or you are not, once you showed up, you have to represent the country, Ghana. And they were flown. The female team it was just nice. So those are the opportunities that you find yourself in within the ecosystem over here. I'll let my chairman introduce himself.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for being late. My name is Maximus Ametogo. I'm the founder of Esports Academy and then the International Relations for Esports Association and then the Communications Director for African Confederation of Digital Sports headquartered in Morocco. So thank you.
The accolades.
All right, so basically, I think we'll let Max take all the answers, even though he doesn't know what we've said, but he can do that. So we have just a few minutes to wrap up, so we want people to ask questions. I think let's go. Ladies first.
Gentlemen before.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So my question is actually around the government support. Recently, I come from Nigeria, and recently I joined the government to support them in digital innovation. And so we are looking at the esports. We have done workshops and brought together the ecosystem players, and we are trying to create some kind of support on how we can be able to get the ecosystem to come to life. So I needed to know, like in Ghana now, I've seen that there's an association for esports, and there is a lot of, there's an academy, and also there are a lot of games development. So what support are you getting from the government? How's the government supporting you? Is it just driven by private sector, or the government has keyed in to actually support the ecosystem, and what are the things that the government is doing to actually really get you to become active? Thank you.
This question is a big one, but it's multifaceted. I think that Max can answer a bit on that.
Yeah, so thank you. What we are doing currently is private, right? Most of the things we do in the esports space, and mostly sponsored by the industry players. So MTN sponsors one of our largest esports event called Conquest. So it has the highest pot price. And normally when the pot price is big, you get a lot of participation, right? So it reduces your advertising cost. And for me, I think the government is thinking like a business person. When you scale the idea, then they come on board because they deal with numbers, right? So what we try to do is that we make sure we let the esports touch every aspect of society. So we just, in fact, past Saturday, we did one for university students. So we invited some university students where we've set up esports clubs. So that's what we are doing. So we can do esports activation on campuses for free, right? So that we'll get more students' interest. Then we are building our community. We have people from, in fact, poor communities in quote, where you have young people, instead of doing drugs or being on the street, are playing video games. And those are some of the people we took to Saudi Arabia. So when you come back, the government goes like, oh, you guys went to Saudi Arabia. So what we are doing is creating visibility in the community first. And then the academy, we are using it to train people who want to play the video games. So we have even girls in gaming where we are training girls to play video games and all that, so that they become professionals in that space. Government is here to look our way and say, oh, come for this amount, or what do you need to scale, right? Officially, that's yet to be done. We just formed the Ghana Esports Federation, official government federation. The Esports Association is a founding member of that. So at least we are pounding the path towards achieving that dream of government involvement in the esports space.
I hope that answered. Okay, I think I have a question there. You are second, and
okay, I'm coming from the development side of the world. I just want to know whether you will be looking at creating games that highlight eco-friendliness, climate resilience, women empowerment, child, exactly, things like that.
Yes.
My colleagues are waiting for me downstairs.
Sure.
I would like to, but I really wanted to connect with you before I leave.
Great.
I can get your card. This is my
Thank
card.
you.
This is not my official card. This is not my official card as in working with the government, but this is my private sector.
Okay.
I would like to have yours if you have.
All right, mine's in my bag, but yeah, we will find you. All right, thank you. Yes. So as I said, definitely those are the serious games that we are building. So most of our games address social issues like climate change. We have a character now for cerebral palsy, championing cerebral palsy, written by Farida Bedwe, who also has cerebral palsy, and we have a game on that and a comic on that as well. We've currently deploying a game in the Netherlands for Eritreans living in the refugee camp in the Netherlands called Shokre on sexual health education. We've done My Jolly in the past. We've done Hello Nurse for the health sector in Ghana. We've done Haki for tree conservation and elections. We did Hot Seat, the elections Hot Seat with UNDP before the 2020 elections. So games, these are all the benefits. But as I said, they are still happening at a very small scale. So people are not hearing much about it. But consistency will always bring some form of awareness in the space, like this panel, for instance. So definitely, if you are also an expert in one of the topics, you can also join our team and give us some insights, and we will gladly jump on with you to build something around it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So our time is running up. We'll have one more.
Thank you very much. My name is Victor, and I'm a basic school teacher. My question is, games are not included in the academic calendar. So mentioning games in school is evil. In my school, I teach block coding where my kids design their own games with Scratch. We also have a console in the school, but I'm scared to even show a console to the kids because of what my headmaster will say. So, what are you doing to create awareness at the basic level? Also, how can you also deal with addiction for the little ones? Yeah.
Take that first and I'll continue.
Okay, all right. So what we are doing with the kids in school, basically for us, I will come from the esports side. When we say that the pathway to esports for kids is education first. So we let them learn stuff. One of the basic things for kids to learn is to read, right? So we have something called Read to Play, where they read books and then they get a chance to play games. But apart from that, there are so many developmental games. I learned this from Aram. It calls it adaptive skills development. You know, what we've learned in school was true and poor, but the times have changed, right? So the times have changed, so we need adaptive skill development. That's what video games offer. The basic video game, what does it do? You move from level 1 to level 2, 3, and each level, it becomes higher. And it's problem solving for the kids. So my kids are playing Minecraft. They are building in the game. So they are a series of games that can be introduced in the school. When it comes to addiction, right, addiction is only because it's not programmed. And as it is, when you're addicted to games, doesn't mean that you are the best of the gamers. No, we need the best of people to. When somebody is addicted to a game, meaning that he has the capacity to solve issues. Right? When you think about playing the video game as a way of solving problems, right? Problem solving ability. It helps the kids to understand that, okay, this is the game, I need to play it this way to solve the problem, because you need to move from one end to the other, right? I will let Aram jump in.
And I'll just add to it, since you are teaching, and as I speak, so the curriculum that Ashesi has actually adapted is a very big step to trickle down to the basic schools. And it's a personal champion initiative that we are pushing. There's a proposal I have now where we want to teach all ICT teachers in Ghana game development, so that you yourself can incorporate it one way or the other in the curriculum before it becomes officially accepted. And I'm happy you teach block programming and continue teaching them the games. One thing you should do is set up an internal publishing server where every game they make, they publish it for their friends to play and give comments on it. And you can partner some of us too. We will heighten it. We are coming up with an academy in our space called STEAM Academy, and we are working with the Ghana Association of Gamers and the Relo Interactive. They are into VR, so we are also bringing VR. The platforms are a lot, but the starting point is teachers like you exposing the kids to video games. When it comes to addiction, as Presido said, don't see it as addiction, see it as problem solving. My kids, when they wake up without brushing their teeth, they go and pick the tablet. I'm like, hey, why have you brushed your teeth? It's like, what are you doing? I'm playing a game. I'm like, did you brush your teeth? He said, no. Then I'm like, hey, go and brush your teeth, be responsible, and figure out what to do. When they come and pick the game, I now start tracking. If you play game the whole day, you better be good at it. If you lose, if you had a lower point than yesterday, I'll ship you. Right? So if it's the game that you play, always come and show me progress. Once you are going around it, I will then, so they themselves start managing their time of play. They want to be okay to play well, else daddy will ship them. Right? So these are the things that you can push in and encourage your kids, but play is good.
I'm also in the education sector, private school teaching. And what I do personally for the kids to play game is they have entertainment period, let's say Friday. So mostly what I tell them is I set kind of assignments for them, or the teachers will set assignments for them. Those that perform very well, the mark that you pass, you have the chance to go to the lab and play the game. If you don't pass, you will be outside watching those inside playing the game. Simple and short. So they try to do extra. So whenever it's Friday, they know that Sir Calypso will come and do something. So we need to, be up and do it. And with that, you kind of have control over the student. If you don't do this, they say, hey, sir, if you don't do this thing, you'll not play the game. And the kids always want to play the game. So once you bring in a contract between do this before they will surely do it for you. So just adapt that one to it, and we are good to go on it. Yeah.
Last point.
I think another thing is, of course, do a timetable. Right? You play games from this time to this time. After that, you can't play any game. They should have the discipline when not to play and when to play games. Right? And of course, if they are getting addicted to the time band that they used to play game, incentivize them. You do A, B, C, D, or you do better at this, you get the time. I'll give you 20 minutes more or something. So you need to also gamify the gaming time too as well for them. Right?
And there are apps that you can install. There's an app called Safe Kids, which I use. You can use to time them, give them time, and they will come, as you said, begging, oh, daddy, give me small time, that sort of thing. So.
All right, so our time is up. See, time is up. Please, your short comment.
Yes, my is to him. I also think it depends on the type of game. Yes, because a game like racing games, I am not a game person, but I'm sure the students will enjoy them more, and it doesn't have any impact or this one on them. I don't know whether it has or not, but from my point of view, yes.
Yes.
As compared to a game like puzzle games, those ones, yes.
Yes, to tell you that the racing game is towards fixes and sim racing. It's a whole space altogether. Yeah, no game is waste of time. You just have to find where the levels are. So thank you so much. Unfortunately, I want to do some bit of introductions. They came late. Our time has been shifted. In fact, the time communication. So please put your hands together for Madam Doreen Debbie Diamond. She is our General Secretary. She's supposed to be on the panel, but it seems that our time. And then also our Director for Shoutcasters. So you could see that within the esports space, then we also have our most favorite shoutcaster. Shoutcaster in esports is basically, in terms of the sports space, commentary, right? But they do more than commentary, because it's a matter of picking the game and then also commenting about the person playing the game. So whilst in commentary you talk about the players, but it is more. They have to learn the fixes behind the game and explain why the character in the game is doing what he's doing, and explain why the person playing the game is using the character in the game to do what. So shout out to Shoutcasters. You do all right, so thank you so much for coming, and we hope to see you another time next year.
I think Wednesday we have.
Yes, Wednesday there's another session on gaming and a bit more on game development, right? Please send a word out there, and then follow us. You can follow Letty Arts, Gamers Association of Ghana, and then Esports Association of Ghana, all on social media. Just search for it and you will get our links as well. We also have a booth down there. Send a word out there. You can come and experience Letty Art, Realo Interactive. We are all on the same lane. Yes, and Esports Ghana as well. You can come and ask us many questions there, and we'll be there to help you. Thank you so much, and hope to see you another time.